Hey there, this is Michele Ho Lung with episode 9 of the Sparkle Experience Show. And here with me tonight, I have Pamela Heath, and she is going to be talking about the yes energy because she's the yes coach. And she's a client. I've known Pam now for, I think, 2 years, Pam. Is that right? Are you on mute? I can't hear you.
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, 2 years. That's
I
about
think
right.
it's about just a bit, maybe 2 years and a month. And I'm just thrilled that Pam could make it here today with me. So Pam has a knack for getting to the yeses, to get away from the no's and help people to find that energy that brings to them what it is they want. And she has that knack herself. So I think Pam will be able to describe that more accurately than I can. So Pam, you want to take it away?
Yes, I'm the yes coach, and I train my clients to say yes to life. And you'd be surprised how much people who really want something don't realize how much they're saying no to it. Their actions and their energy is all about deflection and not about receiving. So I teach my clients how to say yes to life, how to say yes to their romance, how to say yes to their career, how to say yes to everything and be abundant, prosperous, and successful.
That is just amazing. I wanted you to maybe share a story. The one, the one that you mentioned about when you've been down and out and you just decided and magically you got what you wanted. You have many stories like that, but there's one I'm thinking of. I don't know if you're going to pick the same one.
I don't know which story you're thinking of. I have many stories because I am a master manifester. People talk about the law of attraction, about manifestation. Manifestation is a function of the yes energy in the universe. I say that the universe resonates at the energy of yes. So when you tap into that energy, then you can have anything you want. So one of the stories I'll tell you is one that I get a lot of feedback about because it's how it started me on this journey to being the yes coach. It's something that happened that I realized, I recognized this is what I have to do with my life. And what happened was there was an organization called Landmark Education, and I used to support and assist them with their courses. They had a fundamental course called the Landmark Forum. It was a 3-day course, and you started there, you got there at 9 o'clock, and you stayed until, in those days, we're talking about maybe 30, 40 years ago. In those days, they'd stay there until midnight. Nowadays, I'm pretty certain that they get out earlier than that. But you were immersed in this technology, which was transformational for 3 full days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was one of the people in the back of the room who used to run the show, production manager, so to speak. I would manage the course, I would manage the leaders of the course, and I would manage the participants. And once I signed up for a specific course, then my whole life was about that course for 3 days. I took those days off work. I arranged for myself to be there full time. And I had at the time two children. My youngest, who was Anthony, and then my oldest, my daughter Alvesta, who was 12 at the time. So I arranged for them to have babysitting, but there was something that came up with this one particular course where I, who did not have a car, always rode into the course with one of the other people who assisted. And that night, Friday night, my daughter was in a school play. And it was a holiday play because it was December, it was the holiday time. And I wanted to see her. And not only did I not have a babysitter for my son, so I had arranged for the babysitter. I didn't have a car, so I couldn't just dart away to go see her and then dart back to the course. So what I did, I went out of my way to make arrangements for someone to take my place for that couple of hours that I was going to be gone. I arranged for someone to drop me off at the school so I could see the play, and then the person who I had arranged to babysit was going to pick up my daughter and my son and then go to their house while I caught a ride on the bus back to the center. It was all arranged, it was all set up, and I thought I was handled until when I got to the play, and I did get to see my daughter. It was fantastic, but the neighbor who was watching them could not drop me off at the bus stop. So I had to walk to the bus stop, and just as I got up to the corner, the bus was leaving. So that bus, I missed it. The buses were an hour apart, which meant that I was going to be late. And that's not a big deal, except that in Landmark, integrity was the number one thing. Being your word and being where you say you're going to be, when you say you're going to be there. And that was way before everybody had 2 or 3 cell phones. I mean, I didn't have any way to contact them to let them know I was going to be late. I had to sit there for an hour and wait for the bus. And when I got the bus, it would take another hour and a half. I was going to be 2 hours late, of course. And I just burst into tears. I was so upset. I was just sitting at this bus stop crying like somebody had just passed away. And so I'm sitting there and I'm crying and I'm upset because I can't believe I'm not going to be my word and be back at the course. It all just blew up in my face. And along comes this guy and he sees I'm crying. Of course, I'm embarrassed. I'm sitting there in public crying. And this guy, he goes, "What's wrong with you? Are you all right, miss?" Very concerned about me. And I said, "Well, yes, I'm okay, but I'm going to be late. I have to get to the airport. I'm going to be late because I missed the bus and I'm going to be late." I was just upset. And the guy said, "Well," he looked at me like, "Okay, lady, are you crazy? Call a cab and it'll get you to the airport on time." And I looked up at him and I just looked at him and I said, I only have $5. And he looked at me, he's still looking at me like I'm crazy. And he leans forward and he looks at me and he says, "Then call a cab and offer them $5 to take you to the airport." And I'm looking at him like, what? Call a cab and
I would have done that too.
are you kidding? What are you talking about? And he looked at me like, "What is wrong with you? Do you speak English or what?" And he walked over to the curb and he did that thing which I cannot do. Once when I was telling this story, I met someone who could do it. He put his fingers in his mouth. And you know how some people can do that. I can't. He could. He did that and called a taxi. Taxi! And the taxi pulled up. And he leaned down. The guy rolled the passenger side window down and leaned over. And he said, "Excuse me, can you take this lady to the airport? She only has $5, but she has to get there right away or she's going to be late. Will you take her?" And the guy didn't say anything. He just rolled the window back up, pew, and took off. And I looked at him like, you see?
You see? Yeah, you see?
And he just looked at me and then he goes, and he did it again. Guy pulls up, leans over, rolls the window down. He leans in. "Hey, can you take this lady to the airport for $5? She really has to be there. She's in a big hurry." And phew, he took off. And I'm looking at him and he doesn't even hesitate. He does it again. And he did it 5 times. The same thing, just over and over again. The same thing with no loss of enthusiasm or, expression. The 5th one who stopped, rolled the window down and leaned forward to, see what he had to say. He leans in and said, "Hey, can you take this lady to the airport? She only has $5, but she has to get there. She's in a big hurry. Will you take her?" And he looked over at me, the driver, and I looked at him like Puss in Boots, right? And he goes, "Okay, come on, get in." And I looked at the guy and he looked at me and he's like, he did like this with his hands, like your chariot awaits kind of thing. And then he walked away, whoever he was. Because I never met him, never seen him since, just appeared in my life. For all I know, I was touched by an angel. I'm telling you, this guy just walked away. I got into the cab and he took me where I was going. I was there earlier than I was expected because I had caught a ride. And it taught me a couple of things. That incident, I share that all the time. People laugh, but they get it. That incident taught me something.
Yeah.
Ask for what you want in life and don't be trying to figure out how you're going to get it. Just ask for it.
Right.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking no taxi driver is going to take me to the airport for $5. A taxi fare from where I was positioned back then, and we're talking 30 years ago, back then would have cost me about $60. And I had 5. But it's not for me to determine why that guy said yes. What I was looking for was yes.
Right.
And this guy, when he got no, it didn't faze him. He just like, if somebody told you you're gonna have to talk to 4 people, the 5th one will say yes, you'd be like Pac-Man, right?
Yeah.
You just go get it. But what's missing in life is we don't have somebody telling us how many phone calls it's going to be
Mhm.
or how many taxi cab drivers are going to say no before you get the yes. You just go until you get the yes, and the yes is always there. And that's what I've found. And throughout my life, as I became the yes coach, I teach people to look for the yes. The no, let the no go somewhere else, because we're not interested in no. We're only interested in the yes. And sometimes it takes a minute to get to yes.
Mhm.
It takes something to get to yes, because the yes isn't always right there, or sometimes it is, but it doesn't look the way you thought that yes would look.
Yeah, yeah. But I love this story. You told me this story before.
Yeah, I get a lot of attention for it, because the thing about it is like it's like this. Like, I noticed when I was telling the story, you mentioned, well, I would have done that. There's very few people that would have done that without somebody giving them access to that thought that you've got $5 and you need to get to the airport. Why don't you get together with someone willing to take you to the airport for $5? That wasn't on my radar, because in my mind, $5 is not going to get you to the airport. I think I know.
The thing that comes into it is that our minds also, our thoughts also take over, which is it's worth more than that. So who are you to offer that? And who, you're not respecting the other person. But what you're not doing is you're not allowing them to make a decision on their own to decide. You don't know what they're thinking. They may think, oh, I'm going that way anyway, and I didn't have a fare anyway, and let's go,
Well,
right?
that's the thing is that we don't have access to people's thought process. But the
Right.
thing that we don't have access to is the channels available to the universe to provide us with what we need and want.
Mm-hmm.
We have no access. For all we know, that guy got a miracle in his life and said the next person that needs a ride to the airport, I'll take him there for free.
Yeah, right.
$5 was more than he was expecting.
Yes, yes.
Now, I just made that up, but I'm just saying we don't have access
That's
to
right. But a lot of times, what's going on in our minds gets us.
we think we know. We think we
Yeah,
know.
we think we
And
know.
so
Yeah.
we are looking for it to come in a certain package. And yes comes in all kinds of ways.
Mm-hmm.
You can go from manifesting cash money to manifesting a home,
Mm-hmm.
manifesting a job, or
Right,
manifesting,
right.
a romantic relationship. From
Yes,
it doesn't matter how old you are, how tall, how
right.
thin, how skinny, how fat, it doesn't matter. What matters is I want a partner, I want someone in my life, and creating that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
saying yes to it.
Yes.
That's basically what I do.
That is, and that's what I love about the fact that you're there to show people the way to do that because it's powerful the languaging you use around it as well,
It's
right?
inside of your accepting that everything you want is possible, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what it is. If you want, like, you're a business owner and you want your business to succeed, you can have that.
Mm-hmm.
You have success, you can have abundance, you can have prosperity. Anything you want, you can have. You have to be willing to say you want it out loud, like, acknowledge, I'm committed to having X. This is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah.
is, what I'm going for. This is my commitment in the matter. And then listening for the actions you have to take to manifest that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
something I do on a daily basis. When I meditate in the morning when I wake up. I meditate in the evening when I lay down and go to sleep. And I'm always meditating on being open to receive what the universe has to offer,
Mhm.
no
Yeah,
matter.
that's beautiful. So, what I also wanted to bring out too is what nuggets of wisdom can you offer to the audience of this show? You think these few one or two things are just really the thing you have to get
Well, the first
first?
nugget is the most important one, which I've said is ask for what you want, and be very specific. The more specific you are in your request, the more likely the request is going to be fulfilled. Don't forget, the universe doesn't have WhatsApp. So, the conversations you have, the dialogues you have, they are coming from your languaging to the universe's energy. So you have to be very careful and specific about what you're asking for. The universe can sometimes show up like a practical joker. So be careful what you ask for. You're going to get it. The second nugget that I would give you is that you want to be grateful. Gratitude is what equals miracles in life. Be grateful for your life. Be grateful for what you have. Don't come from an area of entitlement. like I'm supposed to have this and I have this instead. Be grateful for what you have and make a request for what you want.
And
And
also not from lack as well.
I'm unclear what you mean by not from lack.
So lack is where you're needy or you're, that feeling of not being deserving.
Okay, so are you saying then that your attitude should be one that's grounded not in fear?
Yeah. So
I
not
agree with that. I am aligned with that. You don't want to
yes.
come from fear
Yes. It's
because
really where,
um,
you're
one of the
allowing.
analogies, I'm one of the people in life who uses movies and songs as analogies to help people get things. There's a movie called Oliver, and some of you may have seen it, some of you not. It's a musical. It's very old. It was made in the 70s, showing my age here. But there's a scene in the movie that most people are familiar with, where Oliver, who's an orphan, he's in an orphanage. He goes to after eating porridge is what they're given to eat, and not very much of it. He goes to the front of the room and he says, "Please, sir, may I have some more?"
Mm-hmm.
And he gets in trouble for asking for more, and that's exactly what he expected. He
Mm-hmm.
expected to get in trouble. So when he made that walk from his seat to the front of the room to ask for more, he was in trepidation and fear. And
Mm-hmm.
I use that as an analogy. Don't be Oliver Twist. As brave as Oliver was, he's the only boy who had the courage to go ask for more.
Mm-hmm.
As brave as he was, his every step was fueled from fear.
Yeah, you could see it. I remember the movie and I can
Yeah.
actually picture it. So I'm dating myself as
Yes,
well.
exactly, exactly. So if you go to YouTube and search for Oliver Twist and the scene,
Yes, yes.
please may I have more, you'll
Yeah.
see the scene I'm talking about.
Right,
He's
right.
got the bowl in his hand, he's walking, and he every step.
Almost walking backwards because
Yes, he's so frightened to ask
yes,
for more. In the background, in his subconscious, he knows the answer is no,
right, right.
and he's gonna ask anyway because he's so hungry.
Mm-hmm,
The
mm-hmm,
thing about it is that he's coming from fear. You don't want to be Oliver Twist
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
coming to the universe saying, "Please, may I have some more." You want to be bold. You want to be confident, and you want to come from relate to the universe as your father, and you're just asking your dad for the keys to the car. You know he's going to give them to you, but you don't want to go in fear, and you don't want to be entitled either. You just want to be confident, bold, and ask for what you want, and that's another nugget of wisdom.
Yes, and I think a lot of times too, people don't even know what they want because they are so used to not getting or struggling that they actually don't even, they lose a hope of even thinking about dreaming or wanting something, because they've
It's
been
important
disappointed.
that you ask for what you want, you be specific, and you're right. Sometimes people aren't clear what they want. They just know they want something more than what they already have.
That's right.
So in the case of that, if you're not clear what you want, just be really clear on what you're grateful for.
Right.
Gratitude, because one of the things the universe will do in response to open display of gratitude is give you more of the same.
Well, that's the thing I also, I've shared it with you too as well, which is I like to think of it as not being so specific that you miss when it comes. So having wiggle room, I call it wiggle room, with you ask for what it is you want with not enclosing it in precisely, I want exactly this. So the wiggle room is just saying, well, I want a better whatever, whatever, but you don't say, well, I wanted this with a this, with a this, with a this, with a this, because, I have stories as well where somebody asked for something, they got it, but didn't recognize it as what it was. And then they ended up not taking advantage of what the universe was asking them for. So the law of attraction, I mean, we talk about that all the time. It's about putting it out there, being grateful, because as you said, I like to use the example of kids. If you have if you're the auntie and you have two nephews and maybe two nephews, and one, you give them something and the one goes, oh, auntie, oh, thank you, it's so nice, and they hug you and they're so happy and grateful, and the other one goes, oh, thanks. And then the question is, who are you going to want to give more to? The one who is going, oh, happy and grateful and, really excited about what that is that they got, even though it might have been the same thing, but the reaction was different. You're probably likely going to give it to that nephew who was all effusive with their thanks, right? So the universe is like that. I like to use that example to say, if you're happy and it's something that you ask for, be happy and grateful and celebrate it, and then you'll get more of it, and then in the same way of looking at it, if you're always focused on what you don't have or what you don't like, then that's what you're going to get more of, because that's what you're focused on. So try and move yourself away from that, and focus on what you do want, even though you have to deal with what you don't want or don't like, but focus on what you want, and then when you get something close or an approximation to that, then celebrate it, and you'll get more of that, right? So what this episode is about, the appreciation or the explanation of what sparkle is. And you've had sparkle experiences, being a very dear client and friend of mine, right? And so the question I'd like to ask you is, what is it that, when you didn't know me, what is it that attracted you to enroll in the VIP program with me, right? To be a VIP client with me. And also, what are the benefits? Because some people think, well, why would I even want to have a long term in something of what I do, which is I coach, and maybe you can describe what that's like for viewers.
Well, the thing with me is that I believe in yes energy, and that life is energy, and that the universe resonates at the energy of yes. So when I met you, you're doing this sparkle process, and for me, the sparkle process is inside of that yes energy. So I believe very much in energy healing, and that's why I first came to you, because I'm someone who can see energy. I can see it around people. For me, it shows up in different colors. And when I'm with you, I can see the energy that you're um, putting out when you sparkle, when you do that, your process. I can see the energy, and it's very tangible, and it's very powerful. And that's what attracted me to you and your process from the beginning. There are people that I've interacted with who are energy healers or energy, service providers. I've rarely met someone who's got as much energy that is tangible that I can actually see. So that's what had me be attracted to you in the first place. Your process taps into, I say, the energy that I output. So we as human beings, we output energy and we take in energy, and the universe it
Cycles
works
it.
on energy. So when we take in energy, we take in the energy that fuels what we're committed to having happen. So all of our actions in life are taken inside of energy. So even dialogues back and forth when you're just having a conversation with another human being, that takes energy. So in life, when I look around and I meet people who have very powerful energy resonance, I'm attracted to them, which is why I'm attracted to you. So it's all about energy, baby.
Well, I don't see energy. So I'm always fascinated to hear you describe that. But what is it? What is it that you actually see? Is it, when you said you see tangible, what do you mean by that? Like,
So when I look at other human beings, what I see is them. Like right now, you're looking at me. This is background. This is actually not the actual background of my apartment, but you see me against the backdrop of what looks like a living room with stairs on one side going up. That's what you see when you look at me. When I look at you, I see the background, I see the foreground, I see the lettering. I also see color around you. And the colors is the energies I see. Depending on what you're doing or what you are, what's the word? When you're,
when I'm
yeah, I don't know what you call that, what you do.
when I'm sparkling, well, I'm
Sparkle.
moving,
You
and
call it that.
the way I think about it is I'm moving things around. I don't know. It's not
Okay,
where
very good. That's a
I'm not
very good.
channeling things. Like there's people who channel. If you do Reiki, you're channeling through you. But I don't. I don't. That's not what I get. I'm moving.
I don't have distinctions about channeling and stuff like that. I'm only answering the question, what do I see?
Right, because I
I
feel
see when you're doing that, I see energy. I see it. And I see you interacting with energy, which is why I came to you. I said, oh, that lady's got some power. And when I see you doing that, like for instance, sometimes it's pink, sometimes it's yellow, and sometimes it's green. So I haven't fully delved into what the colors mean. I've had conversations with different energy workers to talk about it sometime, but that's what I see. When I see people, I see energy. And so sometimes when I with different individuals, when I'm coaching them, the reason why I'm a powerful coach is because I can see what's really going on with them, even when they themselves are not clear, because I see the energy that's
right because from aura readings I've had with when they do the the equipment, the device, and then they do the color thing.
yes.
What those practitioners have told me is that some colors are muddy, like they're dark, right? And I did do a reading many, many years ago, and the lady was saying, wow, this is amazing because you have all the colors and they're brilliant. Like they're very, very, very bright and very vivid and very powerful, very, I don't know what she said, but very, very beautiful colors.
Hmm.
And then she said they're all the colors. It wasn't just, some people have just certain colors, but I had all the colors at that time. And she said she'd never seen a chart like that ever done with her equipment. Uh, but I do feel that it's moving energy. It's not, I'm actually, when I move my hands, I'm actually moving things around in the matrix of the universe. So it's interesting when you say, yeah, you actually see things tangibly moving, because if I remember, I did a sparkle session for Joel Bauer's group. I don't know if you were there, but he actually pulled up an image on the screen, and he said it was a lady, a cartoon lady, beautiful lady, all different colors, and she had an eagle uh, on right at her fingertips. And he said this after I had given the session with everybody on the call. He said something which was, this image came to his mind, and he found it because he knew he had this image in his files, right? And he said he felt that that was me, and that the eagle, I was commanding the eagle, which is, and you said in a way, the energy. So
I can tell you that when I am interacting with another human being and I'm present to their energy, there are times when I can tell that their energy level is low,
mm,
and I can help them to get it up higher, because you want to be at a high energy flow when you're
right.
making manifestation requests. So even though they say they want this thing and they say they're committed to it, their energy is low, and so I can
Mm,
bring in their energy up, and
right.
that's pretty much it. I mean, my nuggets of wisdom has to do with you being aware of your level of gratitude and your ability to manifest anything you want.
Mm,
Once you're
mm,
clear that you can do that, you can do whatever you want. So
right.
manifesting is an art, and you want to become like Picasso.
Hmm. Okay, so if people check, they will see videos of you giving more detailed descriptions of sparkle sessions. So we won't go into that, but what I want to get to know, because I respect time, is the middle of the show, we do a sparkle session. So if you're
Okay.
open to it,
Yes, certainly.
then we will do a sparkle session, and anybody watching it can tap into it, because all things are energy. It doesn't matter when. Time is kind of an illusion, because when you sign on and you're watching it, you will also get sparkled. So because you're here on the show, then you have the opportunity to pick your intention, like what is it you have for your intention for the sparkle session. And it's all about the energy that I bring to the table, right? And people can get beautiful shifts, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and it can be instantaneous, and it could be over time, or it could be just different levels. So for just before we start, what's your energy level now? 0 to 10, where 10 is high.
About 6.
6. Okay. Clarity of mind. 0 to 10, where clarity is high clarity, where you know exactly precisely what you want to do, where that's 10. Where is that?
I'd say about 9.
9. Wow, that's good. What about now any tension in your body? Where 10 is really good, free, no tension.
In
0,
my shoulders, I'd say it's about a 5.
5. Okay.
5.
Okay. But 10 is very tense. We leave it at very tense.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. And then any pain anywhere.
I have pain in my left arm
Okay.
and in
And
my lower right abdomen.
okay, so where pain is 10 is very bad. Where would be the left
My
arm?
left arm, it's a 10. My
Okay.
lower abdomen, it's a 5.
Okay. All right. So having said that now, what I want to have you do is just relax and just connect, and you know the process. Okay, so we're gonna just connect to the heavens and just allow that beautiful light coming down in the tube from the heavens to your crown chakra, and just allow that beautiful light to come through into your body, circulate everywhere it needs to go, and
Okay.
just all the crevices, cracks, wherever it needs to go to displace, nourish, revitalize, energize, heal, wherever it needs to go. Just allow that energy to go wherever it needs to go in your body, all through, within, without. And then just breathe deeply, breathe in all the blessings, all the love, all the goodness, welcome all the beautiful energies that are coming through to you. And then as you breathe in all that goodness, as you breathe out now, breathe out everything that doesn't serve you, anything that is stuck, anything emotional, negativity, anything that's not serving you. Just allow that to be displaced and leave you through the window, through the doors, through the cord at the bottom of your feet to your very own special crystal, where it gets cleansed and gets grounded with the energy of Mother Earth and all the blessings and the nurturing and the love from Mother Earth. Just allow that energy as it's moving through the crystal to get cleansed and really energized with this beautiful grounding energy. And then as it's cleansed and has all this lovely earth energy, allow that energy to come back up and join the circuit that's already going through you with this beautiful cosmic energy. And just breathe in all the goodness, breathe out anything that's not serving you, and just allow that energy to permeate through you. And whatever issues, whatever challenges, whatever things that are perhaps bringing that or allowing that pain to carry on, just allow whatever that is to leave. All the negativity, anything that's emotional, anything that's not serving you, allow that to leave your body, yourself. Just allow it to be dispersed and to just soothe and calm your whole being. What are you noticing with your left arm right now?
It's throbbing a bit.
Okay.
So there's definitely something going on with it, but
Okay, I wanted to notice your right arm and just focus on your right arm. Okay, and just allow it to move. Okay, whatever that throbbing is, right? Okay, what are you noticing now?
I'm finding that I'm starting to feel lessening in my left arm. The pain in my left arm is lessening.
Okay, so just notice that and just don't do anything. Just I want you to focus on your right arm. Okay, so notice how the right arm is feeling so good. It's comfortable. Okay. And how is your stomach now?
There's pain in my right lower abdomen. It's a stabbing pain. It's about a 5.
Okay. Okay, what are you noticing now?
The pain in my left arm is lessening still. It's now about a 3.
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, what if you could get to 0?
That'd be fine with me.
Okay, focus on your right arm. Because that arm has been bothering you for a while, right?
For a couple of weeks, yeah, I don't know what it is.
Okay, do you need to know? No.
I don't at all.
Okay, so just allow, just focus on the right arm. So whoever is watching this is getting a very powerful session because I don't usually do this much on the show, but but you are my VIP, so since we're here, we may as well, right? Okay, what are you noticing now with the abdomen?
Um, there's a sharp pain in my abdomen. It's about a 4.
Okay. So I want to breathe in all the goodness and welcoming all the good and all the blessings and all the everything that can come to you that is nourishing, healing, rejuvenating, and also remember that you're deserving, you're worthy, you're loved, and you're blessed. Okay, so what are you noticing now? You're smiling.
I'm just smiling because I'm watching you.
Oh, is that right? Okay, curious. What are you seeing then?
Well, when you sparkle, there's this energy that you are pushing around, and it tickles me to watch you.
So is it different colors flashing or what?
Different colors. It's kind of like a science fiction show.
Is that right? Oh, so I could be doing painting with it right now.
Well, there's a lot you could be doing. I mean, if someone is coming onto this replay, looking at it and had no context for what you're doing, you're just waving your hands around.
Yeah.
But for me, there's a context. So when I look, I see energy.
Okay. Well, I wish I could see. I've always wished I could see colors and energy, but haven't yet got that.
Well, you have the sparkle gift, which is a major gift. I have the gift to see energy. Everybody to each his gift.
Right.
For me, it's just, my gift doesn't go into the realm of teaching others about energy more so than to teach them how to tap into it.
And also you have the gift of the words, the way to wordsmith stuff from what I see.
Well, I'm trained in that sense.
But then from the energy,
I didn't come out of the womb of wordsmith. That took training and development of many decades of training on how to present. So yes, I'm a wordsmith, and that is training. What you're doing is a gift.
Well, yes, I really, my hands go where they need to go.
Exactly. You have learned how to fall into the gift and utilize it to its fullest, but not everybody has learned to access their gifts so powerfully as you have.
Well, I wish, as I said, I could see what I'm doing in a sense of because the thought of being able to see the color just fascinates me. And I know people can hear
something you can request.
Yeah?
You can request that. You can manifest that. Said, I'd like to see the colors, please.
That is true. I haven't really felt I really needed it though, right? It's not something
you don't.
Yeah, I don't need
it. You'd have it. Yeah. It's a request.
Yeah. It's not an important request to me though. As much as I
I get that. I'm not trying to make it important. I'm just letting you know.
Right.
You can ask.
Yeah, I know.
You'd like.
I've always known that, but it's not something it's not that pressing for me. Okay. I have fun just doing what I do because it helps people.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are you noticing now?
Well, I've gotten some relief in the tension in my shoulders. I've gotten
You mentioned that before.
Yes, I did. We talked about the tension, and I said it was at like a 4 or 5. You can look at the replay later.
Okay. Right. You did. You said very tense, but you didn't say shoulder. I didn't hear shoulders. So okay, you did.
Okay, so it's moving right along. The sparkle session actually worked for me. So I don't know if there's people watching the replay, but part of it is that you're being open to receive the energy of the sparkle. So you could have gotten a really major sparkle session just now, just by letting it in.
And okay, now where's the abdomen at?
It's about a 3.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Sharpness. Lesson?
For
the abdomen.
I'm sorry.
Is the sharpness of the stabbing less?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. And then the arm, the left arm?
Yes, it is much less.
Okay, good, because 10 is not a good thing. I don't like to hear that. Okay, and then now energy. Where are you at?
About a 7.
Okay, all right, a notch up. All right. You're 6 before.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, there, that's done.
Thank you very much. This
Okay, what's that?
was a pleasure.
Yes, it was too. So focus on what it is you want to feel. Okay. And it's the energy is still flowing. So it's not just because we're done here on with the set doesn't mean it's stopped. Okay, so just keep it out there to see your arm going to 0 as well as your abdomen moving to 0. Okay, it's still processing. Allow the energy to move. Okay, power,
Yes.
feel the power of that, because there's recharging that was done just now with. So just allow that to pulse through you. And thank you for joining me on the Sparkle Experience Show. It was a pleasure. Thank you for sharing your nuggets. It's everybody, we speak about the same things, but we speak about them slightly differently. You know, when you mention the yes energy and I mention whatever, the sparkle, they're around the same, but it's slightly different. So some things may resonate with, may actually resonate with people in a different way, or more or less, depending on the timing and the situation. So just when, as for viewers out there, just take whatever, you know, feels good to you in how it's expressed and use it to your benefit is what I'd like to say. Because we're here on this show to help you out there. Because I know there's a lot of people out there who need some help right now. And so this is a reason I put on the show, offering this show as a way to reach out and help people. So if you enjoy the show, to share the link, please, you know, and subscribe as well, so that we can get the sparkle moving out to help other people. I don't know if you want to add anything, Pam.
I'm good. So
You're
thank
good.
you very much for having me, and I will say goodbye and encourage everyone to be healthy, be well, and say yes.
Okay, great. So here we go. The Sparkle Experience Show, end of episode. Join us again on next Wednesday. I'm not sure who the guest is going to be. It might be just me answering questions, but we'll see you next week, same time, 5 p.m., same link, just register. We will be checking registration, so anybody who is trying to do not so nice things on the show, please stay away, because we will not be allowing you into the show. A couple people did do that today, and it's not nice. It's, you know, we're here to help people and not to create mischief. So join us again. Glad to have you. Thank you a lot, Pam. See you on episode 10 coming up. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.